Welcome to the Grow Rich podcast by Tech Help Canada, where we share the best online marketing and general business tips. Now for today's host.
Hello, and thank you for joining me today at the Grow Rich podcast. My name is Gabriel Nwatarelli, and in this episode, I'm going to be talking about why SEO is not rocket science. So we work with a lot of clients that we consult with for SEO, and we also do certain things like we create content, and we might help them with certain things depending on the context. And what I've noticed is that when we start SEO and we get you start seeing the first few results where you get the client to start appearing, after your optimizations and stuff, the client starts appearing on Google search results between the rank 1 to 100, and maybe they are on rank 75 for the keyword that they want, or whatever the case may be. But they are appearing, they're just not there yet because we just started. They often get bombarded with tons of emails that I don't want to call them spam, but really that's what they are, in a sense. But they get bombarded with a lot of emails of people offering them SEO services. Unfortunately, a lot of these people will lie to the customer and tell them things that we have to now clarify for the customer and make sure they have the right information. It's super annoying, but we do it all the time. We just verify the information with them and make sure that they understand the truth about what SEO is. And I find that a lot of people who call themselves SEO experts overcomplicate what SEO is. SEO is a marketing discipline. It's nothing to do with tricks. There's no tricks behind it, really, per se. Sure, there are certain things you can do, but those things generally don't last when you do them. There are really just four main things. Now, I'm making it very simple because if you follow these four main things, you'll do fine with SEO. Okay, there are lots of considerations that you still have to think about. Don't get me wrong, but I want to just mention these four main things. If you focus on these four core things, you'll be fine with SEO. It's not that complicated. It's a marketing discipline, and you have to treat it like that. Number one, user experience. Make sure your user experience is good. I've seen people just put up whatever kind of website, like they just did no effort whatsoever. They publish content, no effort whatsoever, and they say, well, all right, let's go build some backlinks. No. User experience, that's number one. Make sure it's fantastic. Make sure if someone lands on that website, it's like they're walking into a store and you need to wow them. Make sure they check out whatever they are there for, you satisfy their need. Okay? And if someone's going to buy stuff from you online anyways, if they show up to your website and you don't have good content, which I'm going to talk about next, or your website just doesn't look good, it's not properly designed, it looks like it's sloppy. Sure, there are some industries where, the consumers are not very savvy and that might work. But in most cases, not a good idea to ignore user experience. And that goes for your product too. User experience matters. Number one. Number two, content creation. So I've seen people try to build backlinks right away. As soon as they got their copy set up, the homepage set up, they have a website with just one page. They just start building backlinks. And it takes a month, 2 months, 3 months, but then they see their rankings just tank. Why does that happen? Well, the reason why that happens is because you haven't provided the algorithms enough reason to trust you. Think about how suspicious this is. You have a new domain name, and then you have tons of backlinks pointing to it, and you're getting new backlinks every month, but you only have one page on the website. The whole website is just one page. So new domain, loads of backlinks, no content, just one page. Highly risky. you basically make all the backlinks you get a liability now. They are now a liability. Okay? So there's no point doing that. I mean, sure, if you're creating stuff like directory links and stuff like that and you only have one page, sure, no problem. But when you're creating high quality backlinks like guest posts and stuff like that, you really got to make sure that your content on your website, you have a good, strong, rich content on your website. Like, you need to make sure your website is solid, and you need content for that, for topical relevance, and also just to ensure that the algorithms don't find your website a suspect. Okay, and that also comes down to the content has to be very good too. You can't ignore this. Your content has to be top quality. Number 3, social signals. Now, this one you can skip depending on your industry. But I find that in most industries, you want to have social signals. Stuff that real businesses do. They might post content every now and then on whatever platform fits that business most. You don't have to be everywhere, but you need to be on the platforms where your target customers are. And you need to be posting regularly. Whether that's posting once a week, if that's what you want to do, sure. But you have some social signals coming in. There's activity that signals that this business is a real business and therefore it should be trusted. And then number 4, backlinks. Now, like I said, if you skip social signals, sure, you can go on to backlinks as long as you have content. But I generally like to advise people not to skip social signals. So it does depend on your industry again, like I said before. Now, when it comes to backlinks, this is the 4th thing you got to focus on. You do backlinks only when you have enough content on your website to make it make sense. Tons of backlinks, one page, not a good look. Tons of backlinks, 10, 15 blog posts, and you're posting one every week. Looks good. You see, these are things that you have to think about when you're doing SEO. You got to consider these factors because they matter. So when you're building backlinks too, how fast you build them matter too. You can't just build your backlinks way too fast. You build your backlinks way too fast, you're just asking for problems. You got to build backlinks strategically. And you got to be careful what kinds of websites you build those backlinks on. And the content that surrounds your backlinks matter. They have to be just as top quality as the content on your website. I see a lot of people just put 500-word blog posts. They don't even read it. They just put it on, have AI write it, and just publish it. And they don't care. They just care about the link. Recipe for disaster. Sure, it might make the client happy for a time, but at some point, those backlinks, maybe algorithmically, hope I said that properly. Maybe algorithmically, those backlinks will be discredited, and they're not even going to be passing any ranking power for you. And you just might not know about that because Google doesn't have to tell you. Bing doesn't have to tell you. So if you want to make sure everything matters that you do, make sure that if your link's going to be there, it's top quality content. And that content, think about it this way, if that content attracts traffic because it's really good, then you can get traffic from the content that you publish as guest posts or you publish as a PR post, whatever the PR news, whatever the case may be. You just need to make sure that, because everything on the web about you factors into your brand image and how, not just how consumers see you, but also how the search engines see you. Everything matters. So, quick recap. 1, user experience. 2, content. 3, social signals. 4, backlinks. You focus on those 4 core areas, you'll be fine. SEO is not that complicated. Now, back in the day, it was much more complex because back in the day we didn't have things like WordPress or website builders that handle most of the technical SEO stuff for you. You would either have to know what you were doing, or you would end up with a website that causes problems for search engines. But today, those things are 80% gone. When you get WordPress, 80% of your technical SEO stuff is handled. Maybe even more than that. So this is just to say that it's important that you don't fall for the I don't want to call them lies, but you don't fall for the promises that are not realistic. Don't fall for anybody who tells you that they're going to rank your website in a few months. Look elsewhere, because, well, let me just say this. Look elsewhere after you ask them how they're going to do it. If it doesn't make sense, look elsewhere. Because yes, there are sometimes I've had situations where we start SEO and the website's ranking in like 3 months. But that's because the competition level there is like, there's barely any competition. So yeah, this is just things to really consider. SEO is not that complicated. Don't let other people try to make it look like it's more complicated than it is. Just focus on marketing. It's a real marketing discipline, and treat it like that, and you'll be fine.